we're back, and I'm gonna remix this song. So, I don't really know the song, and I can kind of figure it out by ear. But kind of a cool thing you can do with Logic is let it figure out pitches and stuff for you, notes and stuff. So what I'm gonna do is this bass track. I'm just gonna copy it, basically just make an exact duplicate of it, and then save the original in case I want to compare them or I completely fuck it up. Let's call this processed for now. And if I double click this, it brings up a little window, and I'm going to tell it to turn on Flex, which is what Logic calls its technology for analyzing files. And I'm going to tell it to do Flex Pitch, and now it's going to analyze this bass part for pitch information. And if successful, let's see, the notes show up right like this. So you see the keyboard over here. So the first note appears to be an F sharp on this track. I'm just going to solo this up and press play. So now essentially I have a transcription of the bass part in a sense. So if I bring my piano up, oops, I gotta solo that up too. I could play those notes. So it's basically in D flat or B flat minor, and you can see sort of the repetitive pattern here in the bass. So essentially I now have like the structure of the song in a sense. I guess it's too much resolution for it to show the notes. And I also have got the vocal track, of course. Hide this for a second. Oh, one last thing about that, the bass pitch thing is I can now change these notes. So if I decided this top note was wrong, I can literally just select them all. Let's say I wanted an E flat instead of a D flat. Slide that fucker up. So now. Oh no, I guess not. Undo. So that's pretty cool. And this can do this with any instrument basically. This is a very clear instrument. The bass is just not not a lot of complexity to it, so it comes out very clean like this. Obviously they made this with a MIDI source too, so it's extremely clean. But so now I can essentially this is audio files. Everything I was given is audio, and audio is samples. It's a very dense data medium. 44,000 samples per second, 24 bits this way. I can turn this into MIDI now, and MIDI is simple information like, hey, this note is a C and it lasts for 1 bar, and then I can try out different sounds and stuff. So essentially, what I'll do is I'll play these notes now. There's probably a way to turn this into MIDI. I wonder how would I do that? Let's learn together, shall we? This convert menu maybe to MIDI region. That's what I want. But let's see. Have I selected a region? I'm not optimistic about this, by the way. Quite sure how I would do that. Now I could check the Google and stuff. I said there's an obviously repetitive pattern here with a very slight variation right there, and that's it. So it's a very easy thing to sort of like recreate. F sharp. Should we think in flats or sharp? I think we're in flats. G flat, A flat, B flat, D flat, G flat, A flat, F. Repeat. brain just unsolo shit. Wait. My brain doesn't work very well. G flat. Yeah, that was right. G flat, A flat, B flat, D flat. And then it has that one F in there at one point. So. Anyhow, let's play along once. There's that F I missed. Should get this time. Is it now? I'm playing a keyboard over here, in case you can't tell by my face. Whoops. This is the F again. Okay, so now you can easily see here was the bass part, and here's what I just played on the piano, and there's similarities, right? Hopefully they'll be exact at one point, at some point. So notice the F is the only one that's 2 bars long here. Right there, that 2 bars long. So I think I got it right, like right here. And I can quantize that so it's perfect. Let's just loop these bars and solo up the piano and the bass. I'm not going to leave it at piano necessarily, but I'm just putting in the MIDI notes, and then I can make it anything I want. So that's the general part. And there's a, as I mentioned, a slight variation, like right here, bar 33. We're not going to worry about that yet. We'll worry about that when it's time to worry about that. Now, as I said, now I can make a new track. Like I can just be like, hey, make me a new MIDI instrument. And this is what's awesome about Logic, is it's packed full of MIDI instruments. So I can say synthesizer, bass, and I can just try out some basses. But here's one. It's fucking gross. Why would they even include that? I'd fire the person who added that. They have a lot of terrible sounds in here, by the way, but also some good ones. So I'm just... I'll just try one of those just to, testing my theories in Logic. By the way, I'm telling it to keep the tempo now because I do not want to fuck with the tempo anymore. And now I'll mute this piano, and I'll mute the real bass and just put in my bass and see how it sounds. Crappy, but it's the right part. And let's put the loop on because it was only right in one section, which we're going to fix that in a second too. I like when it doesn't do the attack, so I think I want to overlap all the notes a little bit so we never hear the attack. See if that works. Yeah, we'll hear the attack in the first one. That's cool. And now since I only played it right once, I'm gonna trim out the one I played right. And I can slide that back up with piano too if I want. And then, depending how lazy I want to be, I can just say loop, and it'll just run the loop out as long as the song is. And now, essentially, I can listen to the both basses together, and you can see that they're right. So now I have my first unique instrument on this song, that octave isn't great. Could imagine this whole thing being down an octave. So let's try that. I just selected all my notes here. MIDI transform. I could just drag them, but I'm just gonna subtract 12 notes here. Whoops, I subtracted 12. I subtracted minus 12. Let's add minus 12 twice. That's cool. It's nice and low. We'll keep that for now. Now, I'm just trying to get a feel for things. So I'm just going to keep only my bass in at the moment. My silly little loopy bass, and I'm going to click this loop button over here, and instruments, drums, and these are a bunch of loops that come with Logic. I'm going to sort them by tempo, then scroll down to 127. It doesn't have to be exact, and I'm just going to click a few things and see if anything sounds good. And by sounds good, highly subjective. Now, at some point you're gonna be like, well, what are you fucking going for here, These are all very housey, disco-y. So I might not end up using any of these, but just trying to seeing if there's play. I want something that's not too busy, And none of these are really fitting the bill. And I'm just kind of randomly clicking at this point. Because this is a gentle song, I'm gonna be like, well, fuck it, what if we went absolutely ungentle? So I'm just gonna loop this in for a second and just see how bad it sounds. Super bad, right? Because this has a lot of note sounds in it. That snare is really notey. Let's just meet that snare once. Pretty straightforward, that, eh? Nothing I love, but I'm just gonna leave it in for now, and I'm just gonna look for a few more things. And like I said, none of this is striking me as great. Hypnotic, that just sounds like it would be right, but ooh, kind of swingy. Probably won't work. I'm gonna drag it over, and I'm just gonna loop that one too, and it probably won't fit with the other one, but maybe. Kind of weird, huh? That's the swingy one, and this is the other straight one. It's we don't know yet, right? So here's my beat out here in the mixer down here. You can see my Hypnotic Halo beat right there. Let's get rid of the library. And I'm like, well, let's mess around with this. So I'm gonna turn on the inspector, not something I normally do. And now we have this Halo beat track over here, and I'm gonna put it on a flanger because I just kind of don't want it to sound that normal. And this almost never works for me, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Just do like an easy flange. Just solo this up. what that's doing. I can make it be in sync with the song. Do we like it? I don't fucking know. Let's bring in something else just to give us a little context here. Like those. Let's pan them super hard. And just feel what that space feels like. Now, I haven't really changed the song very much right now. So far, I've changed one bass note, one bass sound. That's a lot of fun. But like I said, I'm kind of exploring. Now, is this beat gonna suck? Probably. Let's just bring it in a little. It doesn't suck. I mean, might we want to go towards that feel? I don't know. Possibly. Do we like the flange? Just without it. Flange is not great, right? Let's put up just a few percent, just see if it kind of adds a little, and if not, we'll get rid of it. Look, it's got all these effects on it that I could try out already, like this one, which I can't even hear what that's fucking doing, or like distortion. Delay. Let's see what the delay does. Why are we not hearing that? Oh, it's on the other beat. Let's drag it over. Again, I'm fucking around, aren't I? That is just not pleasant. At all. You don't like that. Let's see what that auto FFT is doing. Jack and squat. I wonder what it thinks it's doing. Because whatever it is, it ain't. Even though I hated the delay they put in, I still might like the delay. I tend to use like the most simple things I can to start with. Like if we're going to, like here's just like a dotted eighth, sort of a, see the triplet felt better, didn't it? There's with it, there's without it. I can make it that get brighter as it echoes, or make it get duller as it echoes. See there, it's getting duller, and here it's getting brighter. If I put in a bunch of feedback, you'll see it better. Versus. Hear that difference? Which makes a huge difference in terms of how you perceive it. An echo, you know. Do I want that kick to be coming through like that, or do I want the more like this hi-hat coming through like that, or both, whatever. The kind of thing I would fuck with. Let's put that bass back in. Wait, I'm just gonna rewind. Well, this beat, it's okay, but it like seems really bright to me. Like I want it more like down here, just. I want it to not to be bright. Nothing's bright yet, but we're just getting started here. Anyway, that's enough for now. You get the idea. Thanks for listening. More to come.